Bust out the binoculars, Howie. It's time to scout some replacements for that front office.
Yep, here I am, Howie. You need a new assistant GM?
You want to switch sides so you can get in his view there?
I'm trying to figure out, he's looking for me. No, I got to be here for Birds Huddle.
Yeah. I'm in it for I can't stop staring at that popcorn. It's almost dinner time. All right, and we will bring it into clearer focus here on this show. So let's huddle up. All right, here's the playbook for tonight. Howie going solo. Andy Weidl, the latest departure from the Eagles front office. How will this staff take shape? Dave Zangaro stops by to give us his defensive depth chart and just how much playing time the Birds' top draft picks will get. And finally, we'll attempt to fill in the headline. Well, Barrett will attempt to fill in the headline. He will guess which quarterback matches which recent headline. Should be a fun one. All right, welcome into Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet, along with my BFF, Barrett Brooks. I'm Taryn Hatcher. A lot to talk about, a lot of front office title changing. Yes. You've got VPs, directors, producers, cinematographers, supporting actors. No, this isn't the Oscars, but lots of changes were made to the Eagles front office, and we are discussing them all, Barrett.
Absolutely. We used to be a quarterback factory. It seems as though we're a front office factory. Howie Roseman must be doing something right because everybody is leeching off us, taking our executives. Hey, Howie, I'm right here. No, just playing around. But hey,
are we not good enough for you, Barrett?
No, I love you guys, but being a part of the Eagles would be kind of cool,
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. No, you're right. We're here with Birds Huddle.
I was to say, apparently you'd be part of the Eagles front office for a while, and then somebody else is plucking you up to take you somewhere else because Howie's just cranking out front office staff. All right, that brings us to our 3-point stance. Barrett's stance on the 3 big items of the day. Number 1. Howie Roseman going to miss Andy Weidl. Weidl is the latest in a long line of Eagles executives that are taking promotions to go elsewhere. He'll be the assistant GM for the Steelers. Barrett, is it going to be just Howie pining for Andy now that he's heading to Pittsburgh?
Well, it's going to be tough trying to replace a guy like him. He was very good at what he does. He's a part of that Joe Douglas / Ozzie Newsome tree line that came from the Ravens when they picked up all those great players like Ray Lewis and those guys. So they have a little bit of talent at that position when he was there. You can see how they drafted the past 2 years when Andy Weidl was a part of that process and decision making. So you look, they started drafting guys from the SEC, Alabama, Georgia, all the number 1 schools that you want to get the talent from, the number 1 talent coming from those schools. So he'll be missed. He'll definitely be missed. Andy Weidl is a straight-up guy. Did his job the right way, stayed behind the scenes for the most part, but very, very good at evaluating talent. So really good friend of mine. I like Andy. I'm just going to wish him good luck going to the Steelers. That's a great organization to go to. Usually when you go there, you usually retire there. So he might be a Steeler for a long time. In fact, he started off his career there.
Barrett, I love your shoes, but they are a little bit yellow and black for
sometimes I gotta give them what they come to see,
That's right. All right, the Birds have lost many executives this offseason. They're also expected to name John Ferrari as their assistant GM. But overall, do you worry that this might make Howie a bit less collaborative?
That might be the case, but hey, Howie's bringing these guys in, the guys and girls in. So if he's bringing them in, of course he's going to have a little bit of reserve because they're young in the organization. But if he's bringing them in, he's going to rely on them giving them the up and up on players we should select in the draft, players that, look in free agency. So he's going to trust them since they're going to be his guys. So I think Howie Roseman, he's always been a guy that's going to be, I'm the last decision. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a little bit stronger now until he gets those guys whipped up into shape. But I see them going out and still having kind of the same draw to officials that they've been having before. Evidently, he's doing something good because these guys are coming. Guys and gals are leaving the organization and getting, better jobs in other places.
It's very interesting indeed. All right, let's move on to your second stance. Josh Sweat is going to have 10-plus sacks this season. He made the Pro Bowl as an injury replacement last year, and this year you say he's taken his game to that next level.
Well, he's going to get even better. You think about what he brings to the table. Very, very talented, very long rusher. And what I really noticed from him last year is his get off. I mean, he has explosive get off the ball. As soon as the ball is snapped, he gets up the field. And he's going to work well within the system that Gannon wants to run, that multi-front system where it could be a 3-4 and a 4-3. He could play on the outside in the 4 down, but on the inside, I mean, when they run a 3-4, he's going to be head up over that tackle. I think he can, really be an impact right there also, because you're going to have a rusher on the outside, and him being able to go inside or outside, this really bodes well for him. I mean, I played in that system when I was, with the Steelers, and he reminds me a lot of Brett Kiesel. Brett Kiesel, one of the better ends that played in that 3-4 system. He could hit, get up the field, kind of the same build. I mean, explosive just like he is. I really think that it's going to allow him to be a better player because he can do more things closer to the quarterback because he's going to be in one gap, plus being able to be strong and explosive off the spot. This will be his year. This will definitely be his year.
And the man is tough,
Yes.
incredibly tough. Sweat was a surprise inactive for the Eagles' playoff loss to the Buccaneers due to a medical issue the team labeled as, quote, life-threatening. And yesterday, he kind of explained what happened. It's a bit shocking.
I mean, yeah, it was serious. I mean, just had like a little bit of, internal bleeding. Not a little bit, a lot, and it was enough to pretty much keep me out. I mean, fine now. We took care of the issue and back to 100, ready to, start working again. But, yeah, no more issues.
Even that seems like he's downplaying it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ruptured artery in his stomach. Just certainly happy to have him back and have him healthy. That is no joke. And he was still trying to, get ready to play after he got the artery cauterized. It's insane.
That's crazy, but that just goes to show the type of player he is. He wanted to go out there and be productive. He just got the new deal. He wants to prove to everybody he's worth that new deal. Big ups to him wanting to go back out there and still fight. He's going to be an explosive player this year.
Yeah, and it's
double-digit sack guy.
Double-digit sack guy.
Yes.
And triple digits in terms of health, hopefully 100%.
Yes, sir.
All right, your third and final stance. Yes, sir. You confuse me with Dan?
No, I just say yes, sir. I mean, meaning,
Yeah. Anyways, final stance. The Eagles have enough at running back. Jordan Howard, a big part of their rushing attack last year. He's still a free agent and hasn't exactly been replaced. But do you think they're kind of just fine as is?
Yes, ma'am. No, but seriously, yes, I do think they will be okay. I mean, Kennedy Brooks is a new guy they brought in, same size as Miles Sanders from Oklahoma. He's kind of going to be one of those explosive backs you need on those third down, 3rd and 1s, 4th down kind of guys. Miles Sanders, if he stays healthy, I can see him going out and getting 1,000 yards. That's if he stays healthy. He's explosive. He learned the game a little bit from being behind Howard and seeing how Howard ran in between the tackles, being patient, getting up the field, not trying to bounce everything outside. Boston Scott will be a force. He's shown the ability to go out there, and whenever his numbers called upon, he's been very explosive and did a lot, especially when he plays against the Giants. Kenneth Gainwell, he's going to be that Swiss Army knife. They can put him out the slot. They can put him up in anywhere on the field as far as being a weapon. That's what he brings to the table. And Huntley, I think he's just going to be a special teams guy. I mean, he's a speed guy. He can return kickoffs, things of that nature. They have a nice little group of backs, but like I said, little backs. They don't have that big back like a LeGarrette Blount like they had Super Bowl year. They may need to go out and get a little more size, but I do think that, these guys can go out there and play and fulfill what they need to do in that offense.
You'd like to see someone a little bit more bullish.
Yeah.
A little bit. All right, Boston Scott was also a free agent, but he's back, and he spoke about why he decided to return.
It's where I've been able to make my mark. You know what I mean? I love the city of Philadelphia. I love the team. I love the organization. I love the fans. And I really feel like Philadelphia has embraced me, So going into the second year, like I said, it was the first year. Going into the second year, love to have some continuity and just see where it goes as far as what we can do. I'm excited about the team and, the off season. I'm excited about what's in the future.
The giant killer.
Yeah.
That's what they call him, the giant killer.
I mean, kind of has a nice ring to it. Dave Zangaro joins us to look at the Eagles' defensive depth chart in a moment. But as we break, it's time for Birds trivia. You ready for this, Barrett?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right, last season, Boston Scott rushed for 7 touchdowns. Who is the last Eagles running back to have more rushing TDs in a season? We'll have the answer in a moment. We are back with Birds Trivia. Before the break, we asked who is the last Eagles running back to have more rushing TDs in a season than Boston Scott's 7 last year. And the answer is, let's see if you got it, Ryan Matthews. Back in 2016, he racked up 8 rushing touchdowns that season, which was the first year of Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz in Philly. Matthews started 8 games, led the team in rushing with more than 600 yards, and never played again in the NFL. Dave, would you have gotten that one right?
A few tries.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
few
Ryan
tries
Matthews, he had just left San Diego at the time. We were still in San Diego and came in here. I thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, he was better than DeMarco.
But you're right about that, yes.
Had him sign on the same day.
You get an for the
I was going to say, that's saying something, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, joining us now on set, as you may have noticed, Dave Zangaro from NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com. Dave, we're going to look at the defense a little bit closer today. You recently put out your best guess at the team's depth chart. Let's take a look at the defense. First off, they're too deep at quite a few spots there, Dave.
Yeah, they are. And, I mean, you look at the front 7 and the way I have it aligned. I have them in a 4-3, but as we know, they're going to run some 3-4 as well. So Jordan Davis is technically a backup the way I have it, but he's going to play an awful lot. He's that prototypical nose, the zero tech. So when they're in that 3-4, he can be the nose tackle, and you can still have Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave play the ends in that 3-4. They have a lot of different things they can do because these players are so versatile, and it's a lot of fun because of that.
Well, you kind of touched on it there, mentioning the 4-3. Do you think they play more 3-4 than 4-3? What do you anticipate is going to happen there? I know how you have it set up currently, but as the season progresses, what do you anticipate will happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really will kind of go game to game. I mean, it matters who they're playing and what the defense wants to do. Jonathan Gannon has to figure out, hey, all right, we're playing this team this week, and we think 3-4 gives us the better shot. And some of it will depend on the players, too. I mean, if you have a guy like Jordan Davis and you're like, man, we can't keep this guy off the field. He's such a good nose tackle. We need him out there. Then you go with it. But I think, look, I still think at their base they're going to be a 4-3 team that's going to mix in the 3-4. I think they're going to trend that way a little bit more. But I think it's going to kind of meet in the middle a little bit more this year. Last year they were much heavier 4-3 and they mixed in the 3-4. I think there's going to be more of a balance this year. They have the players certainly to do that.
Barrett, how do you expect that to break down?
You know, Dave's right. It's going to be, more so the matchup as opposed to it being, calling it as they go along. The matchup will really dictate what they're going to do. If it's a team that's going to run the ball a lot, I can see them going with a 3-4. Just because you get the big guy in there, Davis, in the middle, right there on top of the center at that nose position. But it also depends on how he comes into camp. Is he ready to play? Can he take the responsibility of being right there in the middle of that defense? Those guys have to mature, So I'm kind of anxious to see, where he's at in his development. I mean, is he going to be underweight, overweight? Is he going to be in shape, out of shape? Is he going to come in ready to, take on the defense and really be an integral part in it? It's really depending on what he does and how they approach it going forward.
Yeah, and it's ambitious a little bit to have these guys basically playing multiple positions. But the idea here is Jordan Davis can play the nose tackle in a 3-4, but he can also kind of play that nose in a 4-3 too. You can still line him up over the center, and you can do things like that. And it makes a lot of sense. And they have such versatile pieces that Jonathan Gannon this year, figure it out, buddy.
You got some riches now.
Figure it out.
I was going to say, just the idea of him coming into camp, maybe being in the right shape and ready to go and play at the NFL level is so exciting to think about.
I think he saw something last year, so I think he will.
All right. Barrett, Dave has Nakobe Dean over TJ Edwards at middle linebacker. Who do you think plays more snaps this year? That's a hesitation.
Yeah, I love Nakobe Dean. He's my frat brother. He's an explosive guy. One of the smarter, cerebral type of linebackers you want. But I just think that TJ Edwards is a thumper. He's going to come in ready to play. He's going to come in and he got a lot to prove. He wants to show everybody that I'm more than what you guys are giving me credit for. I'm faster than what you guys think. I play the game at a high level. Don't worry about my 40 time. I just know how to go make plays. And I think that's the biggest thing that's going to make TJ Edwards come in shape, ready to play, ready to take the reins. They gave him a little money last year. it's really going to be one of those things where, all right, I'm a thumper. I want to play. So you can't hold me back.
Yeah, I really like TJ Edwards. And that was the hardest decision on that depth chart, was taking him off. But I think he can still play, because the beauty of Nakobe Dean is he can play the Mike and he can play the Will. So you have one guy, you say it's a lot now for a rookie, but here's the green dot, Nakobe. You're now the signal caller. You're either going to do it from the Mike position or you're going to do it from the Will, and we'll mix in Kaiser White and TJ Edwards as we see fit. I like TJ Edwards so much. I can't justify keeping Nakobe Dean off the field if he is who we think he is.
Absolutely, absolutely. With his speed, what he brings to the table. Well, we also forget about Davion Taylor too. So.
Yeah, I mean, he'll mix in as a backup, probably the backup Will. He's really athletic, but the problem for him is a lot of new talent in here, which is amazing. It's a linebacker room with talent.
Are we saying this really?
Oh my God.
Linebacker talent here in Philadelphia?
A little embarrassment of riches. We're so not used to it. It's so
Yes.
exciting. All right, Dave, thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out his work on our website, and be sure to catch Dave and Ruben Frank on the Eagle Eye podcast. It's a great listen, you know. On the other side, who will win the stalemate between Kyler Murray and the Cardinals? It's a storyline, and we're discussing it in a moment. See you then. It's time now for Storylines, powered by PointsBet. New customers can get their first bets risk-free up to $2,000. That's a fair deal of cash. PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. Download the app today and enter code Philly to get in on the action. Right now on their site, PointsBet has some player props for quarterbacks. At the moment, just 3 quarterbacks passing yards totals for the year: Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, and Patrick Mahomes. Murray's over-under for passing yards is set at 4,099.5. It's interesting because he's currently skipping Cardinals OTAs and he wants a new contract. Barrett, on that topic, who's going to blink first?
Well, you know what? I mean, it's almost like he has them. He has them. Put it like that. He has them. Because, I mean, he's a starting quarterback. He's the best thing they have on the team as far as a quarterback. So he kind of has them between the bucks. So you have to make sure you pay this guy or at least make him happy. If he doesn't come, it's going to be bad for him and it's going to be bad for the team. So I think they'll go out there. They'll come to some kind of resolution going forward before the season starts. They have to, because he's the starter.
It's interesting as well because I'm pretty sure he unfollowed them on Instagram, which is the ultimate Gen Z.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I didn't.
But then I think he refollowed. I have to check in. I haven't checked the latest of the Kyler Murray follow-unfollow situation, but it is interesting to watch the day and age we're in, folks. All right, that'll do it for Storylines. We're back to wrap up Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet, in just a moment. Perhaps Tom Brady got a little extra time to work on his golf game during his month-long retirement. He was filming with a drone on a course. And check this out, a hole-in-one. The celebration is on, but wait for this drone angle. That's sick, Barrett. How's your golf game looking these days?
Nothing like that. And it seems like quarterbacks, you know, they get all the luck when it comes to this.
This seems like it might be a deep fake as well.
No, you know what? That happens with guys like him. I mean, they're just supremely athletic when it comes to, you know, their hips and bringing it around. Me, I can't do any of that. I can't play golf to save my life. I try. But I always hit that one shot that can make me come back. Every single time I play, I get that one shot that makes me come back to play golf.
I'm decent at Topgolf, but only after like a tequila soda or 2. Then everything just loosens right up. While Tom Brady is living his best life, some other quarterbacks around the league are also in the headlines, so we've come up with a game. We will give Barrett the headline. These are real headlines, and he has to fill in the blank on which quarterback it's about.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. First up, blank bulks up, feels bigger and better.
Sounds like Davis Mills. You know, he's a skinny guy, you know, and maybe he bulks up and he'd be good to go this year, you know. So, Davis Mills?
Davis Mill, I believe that is the correct answer. Zach Wilson, apologies. Oh my
Zach
gosh.
Wilson.
I'm messing up my own game.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. All right, let's move on to number 2 and just forget that we said that. Blank is, quote, very accurate QB according to his new teammate.
His new teammate. So it has to be, just throw it, Tua. I say Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa. Is that, in fact, the correct answer? I will wait for the graphic this time.
Survey says.
Survey says that is correct. There we go. I knew that to be correct, but I wanted to be sure I messed up the first one of the game. All right, number 3. Blank says he can be one of the best QBs in the NFL.
You know, I actually saw this one. This is actually Sam Darnold. And he said, he referenced it by saying, as long as I know what the defense is doing, I could be, I could be the best quarterback in the league. If I know where the defense is going to be too, I could be the best quarterback in the league.
That seems like fairly decent logic, but Barrett, good job on the game.
Appreciate it.
You did as well in the game as I did, and I knew the answers, so there you go. That's a wrap for Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet.
Birds Huddle is powered by PointsBet. Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet.